stand up. She's doing well and traveling with me again. It's great to see the enthusiasm that we find here, and I believe we're going to have a nice weekend. We're going to have a nice evening tonight, as well as a very good day tomorrow. So this is something that is very important to all of us to be represented well here in Texas. Texas, the Republican Party, has done something over the years I think has been remarkable. They have held steadfast in writing up their platform, and I believe that in many ways we're talking about that platform because it's much better than the policies we follow in this country, because the Texas platform is indeed a pro-liberty platform. But of course, we're facing some problems in this country today, and I think most Americans realize that. It's difficult sometimes to put our finger on exactly where the cause is, but I don't believe it's all that complicated. I believe that one of our most serious flaws that we have drifted into is that we have, as a country and as a people, we have lost respect for our Constitution. We have not been following the rule of law, and if we did, we'd be a lot better off. Somebody in the early part of this campaign designed some artwork, and it was called the Revolution. And it's unique, it's round, it's not part of the official campaign, but it's unique and it's being used a whole lot. And at first I wondered about this because of the word revolution, but quite frankly, the way I see this is what we're doing now, and what all of you have been participating is the continuation of the revolution that brought us our Constitution and brought us our freedom. Reluctant to admit that at the beginning of the campaign I was very reluctant, and it was unknown to me, as it is still, as exactly what the outcome will be. But I was reluctant because I did not have the full confidence that I knew exactly how many people really cared about what was going on in America, how many people really cared about freedom, how many people really cared about the Constitution. And let me tell you, in the last 8 months, I have found out there are a lot of Americans that indeed really care. In many ways, I see the campaign as almost being miraculous in that it has brought so many people together, very diverse groups, and it's remarked upon all the time on the different types of people that will come in. Not only will there be Republicans coming in, because I'm running as a Republican, but we have disgruntled Republicans that have left the party and want to hear something different. We have people joining us, and they tell me quite frequently that they had never been involved in any party and they were never interested in politics, but they are now joining this campaign. And then we have others that have been in that other party, the Democrat Party, and indeed they're disgusted too, and they have a right to be disgusted, and now they are looking and coming our way for this position on liberty and freedom. And, you know, I've been thinking a lot about this on why and how we can bring people together and not quite fully understanding it. But my answer to this is that freedom brings people together. The Constitution brings people together because it's not aggressive. It is not antagonistic. It's not judgmental. It says to us that we as a people should be allowed to be free, to lead our own lives, to mind our own business, to run our economy, and keep the fruits of our labor. Now, if you're a true believer in the keeping of the fruits of our labor, means that we have to make some changes, like repealing the 16th and getting rid of the IRS. This has come up quite a few times in the campaign, and too often I get the same question. Maybe by the end of the campaign they won't ask it so much. They ask me, yes, you want to get rid of the income tax, but what are you going to replace it with? Nothing! How many years did this country exist without an income tax? A good many years, well over 100 years, and we did quite well. The country grew and prospered. We don't need an income tax if you have the proper size government. We don't need it at all. And once again, the answer is follow the Constitution, and we wouldn't be doing so much. We wouldn't have a foreign policy of interventionism to police the world and to get involved in so many conflicts around the world. What we would have is a strong national defense, and we would save a lot of money by bringing our troops home. Troops home, well, we would bring those border guards home that were sent to Iraq, and we'd bring our National Guard home too. Then we would have the personnel and the money to properly defend our own borders. Sometimes I think there's a lack of enthusiasm for protecting our borders because there's a lack of enthusiasm for protecting our sovereignty. This is the reason that I am concerned about the protection of our borders and our national sovereignty. Because, quite frankly, I do not believe the American people want or will they like the movement toward the North American Union. We must reject that. But a proper-sized government, to me, means it has to be greatly reduced. Getting rid of the income tax is a worthy goal. And it won't happen if we continue to believe that we have to be running a world empire and having troops in 130 countries. And you can't do it with this idea of running a welfare state and an entitlement system. We as a people have come to accept this notion, which is completely false, that entitlements are rights. You have a right to your life and your liberty. You don't have a right to rob your neighbor through some government agent. Very simply, we should never ask other taxpayers to pay for something that we are obligated to do for ourselves. But our country's in a mess. The deficit's in a runaway condition. The size of government continues to grow. We elect conservatives to shrink the size of government. And what do we do with the Department of Education? Remember in the old days when the Republican Party said, let's get rid of the Department of Education? That's what we need. We don't need, as we have done, double the size of the Department of Education and develop new departments. We need the government out of the way. We need a faith and a trust in the people that they know what's best for themselves and that we can take care of ourselves. If we do need government, let's keep it local where we can deal with it in a much better manner.